Who would have thought that the great emperor will be that stubborn and follow Kim Dan into the village, while annoying him at work and even moving in next door to Kim Dan? Well, that, my dear fellow BL enthusiasts, may be the start of the chasing arc, since Kim Dan is finally standing his ground and avoiding Jaekyung as far as possible. I love it, LOL. So, in the last thoughts, theories, and predictions video on Chapter 61, we discussed 3 possible scenarios that are likely to happen, where 2 indeed were close to reality. Not only did Jaekyung stay with Kim Dan in the medical facility in order to continue his shoulder treatment, but he also interacted with Kim Dan's grandma, who he hadn't seen in quite a long time. So now that Jaekyung is living close to Kim Dan, is it going to change something? Is he really going to sort those feelings out and then leave Kim Dan alone? To me, it sounds as if Jaekyung is in a deep state of denial, since he was looking everywhere for Kim Dan like a maniac and was ready to pay a huge amount of money for it, only to leave him again then? I absolutely don't think so. Since we already know that Jaekyung is quite stubborn and always gets what he wants, what if Kim Dan doesn't want to play that game anymore since he already told Jaekyung that he doesn't want to work under him anymore? We learn that Kim Dan is indeed able to make boundaries clear, though he just wanted to do good things for Jaekyung for being so thankful. Now he's ignoring him and wants to pay his debt to Jaekyung back. That shows us that not everything is solved with money, Jaekyung, since he thought he's able to get Kim Dan back by offering him money again. What does that mean for Jaekyung? At the last thoughts, theories, and predictions video, we were discussing whether Jaekyung might have had a poor background, so that now he thinks everything is solved by using the power of money. But guess what? It's not. Because I've got the feeling that now we will get to see how the tables have turned. Though they both seem to have recovered physically from being apart from each other, Jaekyung did already fall for Kim Dan without realizing his feelings. But what if it's too late now and Kim Dan already moved on after being treated so bad? Though he treats Kim Dan so bad, I would not say that he's using the relationship with Kim Dan's grandma in order to get closer to Kim Dan, because I truly think that Jaekyung does care for her. He visited her in Chapter 21 and 22, and even was quite shocked and worried. In Chapter 56, something might have happened to her. So why Kim Dan's grandma is important for the main plot? I assume that she plays an important role in Jaekyung's and Kim Dan's relationship development. Not only does she seem to be quite fond of Jaekyung, but if she passes away, Jaekyung will experience Kim Dan's complete breakdown. Since we already know that Jaekyung is thinking everything is solved by using money and regaining his title back, what if he realizes that's actually not really what he wanted, and only then the real chasing arc begins? Namely receiving real love and connection and then chasing Kim Dan and getting him back, without offering a huge amount of money and insult him or have him work only as a physical therapist. So there are also 3 possibilities for the upcoming Chapter 62. We already discussed that Jaekyung is stubborn, since he already moved in next door to Kim Dan and also infiltrated the medical facility where Kim Dan is working. So it might be possible that we get more of Jaekyung trying to get Kim Dan's attention and winning him over to work again for him. Will he win this match while Kim Dan already decided to not fold to Jaekyung? Another possibility might be the appearance of a third person who is going to get along with Kim Dan that will bring Jaekyung's blood to boil. We already saw him being jealous of Hee-sung and acting out like a complete lunatic. A third possibility that I think is realistic, but chances aren't too high to actually occur, might be Kim Dan getting drunk and Jaekyung experiencing it, while Kim Dan speaking his heart out and being brutal honest. We know that he was drinking, but did he continue or quit after he sleepwalked and nearly unalived himself in the ocean? So what do you think is likely to happen in Chapter 62? Will the chasing arc begin and continue, or will something else happen? Let me know in the comments.